guys, I'm back. I'm going to do another ring pour today. Let's pop my gloves on. I'm going to do it in two parts because these big pours, they just take too long and I've only got 20 minutes on my camera, on my memory, so I'll do it in two parts. So this canvas I'm pouring over. I did a blue ring pour earlier and wasn't very happy with it. My mix was too thin. It was a 3-to-1 mix, 3 parts floetrol and 1 part paint. Usually when I do ring pours I do 2-to-1, so anyway I tried something a bit different, didn't work, scraped it and moving on. This canvas is a 24" by 60" or 61 by 152 centimetre canvas. And underneath the supports here I've just put some padding so that it won't sag in the middle. Okay, so as I said before, 2 parts floetrol to 1 part paint, and I'm using Global Impasto. So I've got navy. You can't buy Deep Space anymore, so I mix Cool Blue, which is this one, with a little bit of black and a little bit of green. The Cool Blue throws purple, so I find if I put some green with it, it just counteracts that and we get a nice navy. The aqua is turquoise with a bit of white mixed into it to lighten it. Cool Blue, as I said. Copper, metallic copper. This one I've made a little bit thicker. I've added an extra big squirt of copper just because I like my metallics to be a little bit thicker so that they don't get lost. They stay on top and don't get lost underneath. And white. So move these all out of the way. So I've got 2 cups of everything. So I need a lot of paint for this big pour. So I basically got 600 grams of mixed white, 600 of copper, 600 of Cool Blue, 600 of aqua and 600 grams of the navy. You can see the consistency of that. You can see it sort of ribbons and sits on top before it disappears. Kind of like yogurt, really. A bit thicker than I would normally make. I'll just move these down here. So I've got my 5 cups. These measure up to 500 mils, so I'll go up to around about 550, 600 mils per ring. And I've put little dots where I want my pours to start, just so that I've got them evenly marked out. I am going to just have a quick little spray of silicone into these jugs, just so that the paint will slide out easily. I shouldn't do it over the canvas. Just makes it easier for the paint to slide out. Now on Facebook recently I saw a pour in similar colours to this by the lovely Danny Simpson. Hi Danny! So I did this, I don't know if you can see all of that, I did this swipe last year in the same colours I'm doing today, navy, copper, cool blue, turquoise and white. So same colours today but just in a ring pour, and to match this one. I really like those colours together. I think they work really nicely together, so I'll use the same colours as that one today and do the ring pour. So I put 1 of each. No, it's alright, I'll leave them there. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Same colours in each, but I'm just going to pour them in, not worried about how much goes in each really. just change it up a little bit in each one so that they're not all the same colours, but we'll get a slightly different look. And I don't want copper in the bottom, so I'm not going to put copper in the bottom or white in the bottom. Actually, we'll go light, dark, light, dark. Okay, so that's the bottom layer. Now in the cups I'm just going to alternate light, dark, light, dark. And I'm going to pour down the side so that the paint just sits on top. And that one's got the aqua, so I'm going to put some navy on top of it. And this one's got the cool blue, so I think I'll go with the copper next on that one. Blue on top of aqua. And copper on top of navy. So each of these is going to give us a slightly different effect. Now I'll put a little bit of white in on all of them, just a little bit, just to separate the colours a little. Some of the colours are a bit dark, so I don't really want dark on dark. Now this one hasn't had any cool blue yet, so I'll pop some in there. Some copper. Put copper in on this one, because this one hasn't had copper yet either. And what hasn't this one had? Cool blue, I think. Pop some of that in there. And we need aqua on this one. And some navy. Copper on this one. And some navy as well. This one hasn't had any aqua yet, so we'll pop some aqua on that one. And some cool blue. A little bit more white on each of them. And I'm not adding silicone to these, it's just the little bit of silicone that's in the spray in the cup. Back to some navy. Aqua. Blue. Finish that one off. So no particular order to these colours, just however they come up. And a little bit more copper. And what does this one need? This one needs a little bit more aqua by the looks of it. Finish that one off. Can't scrape the cup and tilt the jug at the same time, so just having to pour a bit in. That one's empty. What's next? I think this one at the end needs some navy. And add a touch of gold into the copper. I just find otherwise it's quite orange when it dries. So I just got probably a quarter of the amount of gold in there to copper. Alright, how's the colours coming along? A little bit more white. Finished off the aqua on this one. So that all the cups have got about the same amount of paint in them. So that our rings are all about the same size. I've got my spills. More copper. Finish off the navy on this one. If you don't want to see all this, feel free to fast forward. Some people like watching how it's done, others don't. They just want to skip to the exciting part. Okay, got a little bit more of this left. Pop some of that in, finish that one off. Making a mess. Right, how are we going? That's over 500, that's over 500, that's on 500, that's over. I think this one needs a little bit more. Go a bit more copper. A little bit of white. A little bit of white. Let's pop some copper over the top of that one. And we'll just finish off the navy over here. So they've got a variety of layers in them. If you saw my metallic pour, you'll note that I put a bit of black in the bottom of my cup and then I poured the metallic in on top of it, so that was just one colour. But they've got a few colours here and I don't mind alternating the layers. Right, got a little bit of white left over, a little bit of copper left over. Might as well finish that one off just there. And that one's ending in copper, I'll add a little bit there as well. Okay, we have our 5 cups ready to go. Now I'm just going to pop a little bit of white just on the edge here. Just want that to go over the edge so that the side's covered. Like so. Same on the other side. Basically push it over the edge so that that side's covered. because I'm not going to tilt side to side, we're only going to go up and down. So if this is done, then at least I know I've got coverage on this side. I don't want paint on it. I find if you leave paint on your edge, when you pour your ring, pour your cup of paint out, this white stops the paint from moving across. It's done that in the past where the white was, the paint got to there and stopped, and I want it to go over the edge. I will keep a little bit of white paint though, just to fill in my corners if I need to later on. Okay, so that is part one. A little bit of extra white there if I need it. Okay, I will be back with part two and we'll pour these. See you soon.